Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Satisfactory. Between episodes, I completed the really epic task of putting up walls and all the foundations for the second floor. You can tell it's darker in here for sure. Colors are a little bit muted. That's because we're indoors now. It's all good. This episode, I'm going to show my method for putting down foundations efficiently, as well as walls. I've left a few open sections. We're going to put down our conveyor walls here for the storage containers to conveyor lifts that will transport these basic components to the second floor. I've got a series of tilted jump pads. This is the first time that I've used the tilted jump pads, but they're pretty fun, and when done correctly, they do provide a method to getting to this second floor that is significantly off the ground. You can see that I put the floor really up in the air. My condition was that I wanted the floor to be out of reach of the smoke that comes out of these fuel generators and the oil refineries over there. So I think it's like 15 spaces between the first floor and the second floor. We'll take this really quickly. I almost missed that one. This works best if you kind of face yourself in the direction you're flying. So you can, of course, adjust midair if you have to. So this is the second floor that we'll have to work with for the building of our mid and early late game components. A lot of space here. A lot of space. I'm also going to construct a few ways of getting up to the second floor that aren't jump pads, even though I'll probably use the tilted jump pads most just because they're really fun. But we're going to look at a few traditional ways to get up to a higher level. I'm going to equip my jetpack for flying down. The first way, and what would seem the most obvious, is the staircase. But the staircase is my least favorite, and I think for a height of this distance, it's not remotely viable. Man, this factory's big. Putting up all of these walls took quite a while. I'd say several hours total for the walls and the foundations. Okay, so here we have the staircases. Now each of these staircases, or each level, and by level I mean the space of one wall, you need two staircases to travel the distance of one wall in height. So 1, 2. Yikes. And while they look kind of cool, actually using them for like this height, man, it's nuts. You know, you'll be here all day, and it's very easy to fall off. You get the idea. This is, we're a small fraction of the height we need to be. So we'll leave the staircase. We're going to make it look a little bit better by including walls. We'll make it like a fully fledged stairwell. It'll also make it much safer to use, no risk of falling off the sides. Go down here and get a door. Door to the left. There we go. And walls all the way to the top. Okay. So this will be our little stairwell. What we need is an elevator, you know? But that's what it looks like from the inside. Cool, I guess. I will literally never use those. But, you know, good to have, I guess. So my method, when not using jump pads, my preferred method is the ramp. Just take the walkway ramp all the way to the top. Oh. Let's put a wall there so we don't run right off. Let's come over here and just finish our stairwell. This is the door, other side. Okay. Okay, so this is what the stairwell will look like when it's finished. Passable. Now when we're using the ramps, we just want to put a few finishing touches on these. I think we use T-crossings here, like this. Not sure how I did that. Maybe like this. Yeah. And then just the walkway crossings for the rest. Just so we don't fall off. Cool. This is our ramp. So what I've done here is I've put a T-crossing halfway through. Not halfway, but partially down. And then extended a straight walkway out. And I'm going to put this up just in a really loose grid to give myself a really nice vantage to look down at the factory and potentially spot any problems that arise in terms of supply or broken connections. So let's extend this out. Need to move our hub up to the second floor at some point. Probably also place another space elevator. Okay, this is probably a good point to move over. We'll put another T section here, so that we can continue going out, but also go forward in this direction to the west. The colors for this factory look so nice. That's definitely something that I'll be using moving forward in future factories, is the color gun, because what a difference it made. You know, I can look at any group of machines and know what they're producing without even seeing the products. I feel like this game really does need to add lighting at some point. I've heard that the earliest alpha versions of the game It did have lighting, but there were frame rate issues. And that's the reason that there are no windows, is the frame rate issues. Hopefully those are resolved in a future version, especially now that they've moved to a new engine, a new game engine on the experimental branch. The graphics have really gone up a notch, and performance has also improved. So you see the increase in graphical quality and also in computer performance. They're using parallelization on the experimental branch, which means that your processor is using more than one core. I think it's right now the early access version that I'm playing for this video is using one core, but the experimental branch is using as many as 3 right now. And having played on the experimental branch, I will say that it is nice. The performance is nice. Hopefully this is the right path here, or the right distance. You can see I've started a ramp. Oh man, I have a bad feeling about this. This looks better. Let's try this. So the goal here is to extend this. Actually, we need a crossway. Extend this all the way to meet up with... Actually, do we want to be on the side of it? I feel like we do. Okay, let's try this. We don't want to be directly on the ramp, because that would it would actually block off access to that ramp. So let's try this and extend it out to the side. With a factory this large, you really want... Oh man. Probably gonna... Whew, close. Really close. I thought for sure I was dead there. So with a factory this size, you really want access points to the second level at a few locations, so you're not forced to run all the way across the factory to reach your ramp or your stairs. It's pretty tall. Let's see if I can get up there. Just kind of coaxing every ounce of fuel out of it that I can. Easy. Just learn the importance of having rails on your walkways. I think I'm going to be to the side of it. Perspective's a little bit difficult with the ramp being at a lower level. Okay, let's continue that ramp up. Guess we've gone too far away. Come on. Am I gonna be right on top of it? Not right on... Am I? Man, this is rough. May have to quickly redo this. And honestly, the smarter thing would have been to continue the ramp up and then started the straight walkways from the side of the ramp. Okay, this is interesting. I'm half a square off. So what needs to happen is the entire ramp needs to move half a space to the side. Let's put a... I really need to go out farther to the east here, so we'll use a turn. And then a walkway T crossing right here. I'm going to deconstruct that ramp. Took a few foundations with me. Okay. Let's replace those, or we'll have a nightmare getting out of that water. Okay, good. This looks nice. Now let's continue this ramp up. One more. Oh no. So the spacing is off. Actually, what we can do is maybe... Yeah. That'll work. Fine with that. Let's see if we had put another foundation, it would extend too far. Might be better to use this. And then maybe one of these. We're missing a rod. That's fine, we can finish this at a later time. So now let's move on to the best way, in my opinion, to put down a foundation quickly and efficiently. The maximum distance for placing objects in the distance is 12 like foundation links. So I'll come to whenever I'm doing this, the first thing I do is I lay all of the foundations on the perimeter of the factory. And then I count to 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'll put down a few foundations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Worked out perfectly. Then we'll come over here to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So what this does is you know that you can stand on the foundation edge and still place blocks towards you. If we come over here, I can't reach the next foundation out to put a foundation on the end of that little outcropped foundation. Let's just see where this ramp ended up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right here. One, two. Then we know that it's going to be fine. And then once I've gotten all of my little outcroppings, and there's usually, you know, a lot more than 3 or 4. You just connect them to make that grid. And you'll be able to reach this, to extend it out. And you can reach across to the edge. So quickly bring it back, and then I should, yeah, able to reach all the way across. Alright, so once you've made your basic grid across the entire length of the level you're working on, you just spam that left mouse button. And I usually alternate sides so that I have to move the least amount, so that, you know, the engineer has to move the least. Quickly fill in huge distances, areas with the concrete foundations. Okay, that's 1/4 done. Go to a corner and repeat it. Remove that misplaced foundation. now around the ramp we'll need 2 spaces. Because this is offset, we may only need 1. Let's see. Is 1.5 enough? Nope. 2. The hitching for each game save is getting a little worse as my factory grows. I'm playing on a computer with a pretty nice M.2 disk drive, but the hitching is just becoming more and more noticeable. Fortunately, it's only, like 1 to 2 seconds every 15 minutes, so not a huge position. Or distraction. And we're going to run out of concrete before we complete this. This just shows you the crazy amounts of concrete you need when you're working at this scale. I'll just come out down here and float down to our storage containers. You can see I walled off, or I excluded this island with the toxic gas emitters from the factory. And you can see behind the storage containers there, it looks like there's clipping with the train depot, but there's not. That's just a graphical bug that I need to report. It's more than enough to finish. It's more than enough. Okay, now this little door here. I have several doors around the perimeter of the factory. There's another. Alright. Let's finish this off in the best way possible. Oh, I think I want this. I believe I want one of these. Maybe this here too. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll just use T's. Just make sure that we can walk under that. Yeah, no problem. And crossways to finish it off. Okay, now there's no danger of falling off. Or, I guess, little danger. Could I use a T here? Or is that too close? No. Nice. Okay, that's a little better. We really need a rail right here, but there's just no way to make that work. Oh well. Factories are dangerous. That's not new information. Now we'll finish the foundations in the second level and head downstairs to take a look at the walls. Putting down these foundations for the second level took, I don't know, 5 or 6 complete inventories full of concrete. Fortunately, the constructors we've set up downstairs could more than match that rate of production. Every time that I ran out, the storage container had been completely refilled from the constructors. Mega factories. Okay. Equip our jetpack, float down. You could use a U-jelly landing pad here, but I think it's faster just to use the jetpack because the U-jelly kind of like slows your movement getting out of it. But if you didn't want to rely on a jetpack, U-jellies are very good for that if you can aim yourself correctly. So I've left these 2 sections of walls just to quickly show how I put up walls. I think it's good to put down the first level, again, all the way around the perimeter, just the base. Walls are easier to place when they're snapping to another wall segment. And then you want to get some height. These fuel generators are pretty ideal. Select your wall. Make sure that it's oriented the right way. The X is inside. And then you can just quickly travel up. And you can even put the wall segment against the outside of the building, against that foundation, if you're careful. You saw the resources fly up there. I'll do it again. And we're out of iron plates, but that's not a problem. So we we have many more right over here. Cannot get over how great these colors turned out. Finish this off. Okay. Now this is the last one that we can see. There's actually one more. Right there, you see the edge of it, and then the materials fly up. That's for the wall on the outside of the building. Let's just put a door here. This is a good spot for a door. And you can see that the walls, maybe you can see, the walls go all the way up to the top. You can't actually see the foundations. It's all wall, and that's what you want. Nice and clean. Alright, now let's run over to our storage containers. And this is where our conveyor belts will start. I believe we're going to need to, I don't think a single conveyor belt will reach the top level. I think we're going to have to use two conveyor belts connecting to each other to reach the top level. I hope that's doable. I haven't, like, thinking about it now, I could see that they could be off-center. We may want to use 3. That makes more sense to me, to kind of correct the positioning. I'm pretty sure that's what we'll need to do. Okay. We also need to be careful about when we're using these wall conveyors. A few of these storage containers will require 2 belts, and that means using the 2-window conveyor wall instead of the single window. And that'll be determined by how many belts are feeding each of these storage containers. So this is cables. This is just a single window facing the right way. These, you'll see the black border is visible if it's the inside. Next we've got, I believe these are alkylate aluminum plates. Yep, that's 1. Single window. Silica, that's 1. Crystals, obviously, that's 1. Single window, single window. Okay, what's next? So Caterium, quick wire. Each of these 2 are fed by 2 belts. That means we'll need 2 belts exiting each storage container, which is a double window. 1, 2. So there's sulfur. Yep. Sulfur's 1. Concrete's 1. Plastic is 1. Rubber, 2 belts. Iron plate's 1, and then wire is 2 storage containers with 2 belts each. And finally, steel pipes, single window. And let's put a door right there. Okay, I think we did that correctly. Now we can just have belts, right? Yeah. Run belts. It's too long. Okay, so these were 2, right? Let's see if that lines up. Yeah. Okay. Good. Same thing here. Single window. Double window. Okay, so 3 singles. Two doubles. And then the rest are single. We could probably have... Oh, why is that? What is going on here? This is a mistake. Oh, I see what happened. I was going to say we could probably have used stacked conveyor poles at the output of these storage containers to, you know, save a little floor space. But I think that might have been unnecessarily complicated. We could also have just set up our storage containers closer to the wall, and that would have been a better solution. You know, we didn't actually need like 10 foundation between the storage containers and the wall. If we had just shifted everything up to here, that would have been a little better. But live and learn. We can always go back and adjust it at a later time. Okay. So now all of the storage containers are connected to the wall. And what we need, let's give ourselves a little more room for viewing here. We need to remove the walls directly above each of these conveyor walls. And the walls need to match, you know, the outputs below them. So this is double window, single window. A little room to work with. Whoa. Let's deconstruct the rest of these. Single, double, single, 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 double, double, the rest are singles. Okay. So ideally, you could take a lift and it would reach all the way to that window. But as expected, we're not going to make it. You can hook conveyor lifts to each other directly, but doing it this way, you can see that it's not going to align with that window. So what I think we can do is use 3 lifts per window. It looks like that's going to be about a height of a little less than 60, maybe like 58 or something. 57. So 57 divided by 3. It's going to be somewhere around here. I guess we can only go up by 2. So let's say this. We'll go by 20. We'll take this one up 20. And then from here, see we're back, we're aligned again. And this is the tough part because it'd be hard to tell exactly. That looks right, but we need to double check. That may be too tall. I think that's 1 too tall. Yeah, 1 distance too tall. That was 34, so we'll need 32. So 32, 20, and 20. And we can just repeat that. 20, 20, 32, okay, this is an issue. Can we make this work? How many was that? That was 16. Need to go higher. Actually, that one looks like it's definitely too high. That must have been 22. It's right here. You can see it's not aligned. Yep, 22. Did I say 34? 32? Okay, 32. Yep, that's better. Now this one. I want to go just high enough to avoid clipping. Let's see. This one still looks, it's definitely too high. 32, 32, 32. 20, 20. I don't know, I want to go inside and check because that looks... I don't understand why it would. I mean, these are the same length. Yeah, it should be the same height, but we need to check that. It's the third one. Yep, it's definitely too high. So that was 32, so we'll just have it at a height of 30. I don't know why it would be different. It clearly is. But see, that looks too low, right? It's definitely too low. That looks perfect. Even though it's the same length as before. Alright, insanity. We're going with it. Now here's something interesting. How? How did we get it up to there, right? This one, obviously, we can, this is going to be a challenge. You know what we can do, I think? Let's try this. Probably what we should have been doing. Is instead of going, yeah, that's obvious. Instead of going to the side, we should have had them coming out towards us. And I think that's so obvious that we should just redo all of these. This is probably just a good place to end the episode and pick it up in the next episode by correcting these. So, on the heels of that mistake, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying this series. Fill up the comment section with any questions or critiques. And thanks for watching. I'll see everyone after the jump.